Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I had the misfortune of watching this film last night. Um, I was looking for some horror movies, of course, as usual, and I stumbled across this. I watched the first few minutes and I saw that Malcolm McDowell was starring in it. An actress called Madeline Smith was in it as well. I wasn't sure if I recognised that name, but it looked interesting, and I thought, I'm going to watch this. And yeah, it starts off conventional and good. You see a woman basically getting her groceries in a small town, getting in like a sort of, I want to say Jeep, but some sort of off-road looking sort of old car, and then she goes to this cabin, and basically while she's making dinner and doing stuff around the house, you get a sense of someone around the house looking, and eventually you know someone's going to knock on the door, and he does, and it's Malcolm McDowell, and it's the old, my car broke down 6 miles down the road on the edge of the woods, and I need to use your phone, can I use your phone? So he comes in, and right away you see that it's kind of unrealistic, the interaction, and it just keeps going and going, and it just becomes really weird and cat and mouse, and not anything any normal person would sort of participate in or do, and you start to feel like these people know each other. There's some sort of role here. Either he's like an investigator pretending to be a person and trying to find out something she's done, or he's actually trying to scare her and intimidate her because he's planning to attack her or kill her or something. And at first it's interesting because you don't know which is which, what's happening. There's a turn at one point. I'm not going to give away the ending, but eventually you get to the ending and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely verging on sci-fi, and you know that there were no clues. There was no way you could have worked out this mystery. It's not a fair mystery. It's not a fair film, where in some ways Friday the 13th is the same way, where you never really got any clues who the killer was, really. But there's so much information, so much talk, so much backwards and forwards, all these clues and hints and things, and none of them could have prepared you for what actually happens. And it's bad writing. It's just, well, we have to surprise the audience, so let's just do this. Let's just come out of this, left field. And that'll be really clever, and people will think we're really clever because we totally fooled them. That's not good writing. That's not good mystery writing. And it's not something you can believe in, that you can invest in, and it's just over the top and ridiculous, and becomes a little theatrical at the end, which visually is interesting. But after that, then the scene repeats again, basically with a slightly different play. And the actress at the end looks at the camera, she's closing the door, and it's like, oh, are we supposed to think this is clever? Or it's just really insulting and intimate. I was so disappointed, 'cause I thought it was going to be a really clever cat and mouse story, or sort of like a home invasion sort of story, something interesting. And I thought Malcolm McDowell's a good actor, and he does do a good job, and so does Miss Smith, but they do have to jump that shark, one small little thing to mention, I guess, is that John Carl Beechler, however you say his name, from he directed Friday the 13th Part 7, and he did makeup for Freddy and Jason and Michael and just a bunch of people. He does do a makeup for this, which is interesting. You can see some of the elements that he used with Jason are there, and it's interesting, but you can see he was doing, at least with Jason, it looks real. It didn't really look real, but it did look interesting enough that you're looking at it, you're trying to work out, how did they do that, which is the sort of magic of like practical effects and makeup. But yeah, so big disappointment. I don't think I'll be owning this film or watching it again. And that's the other problem with mystery films. Once you know the mystery, that it's hard to watch them again. Sometimes it makes it more interesting to watch them again, but other times it just is just boring, because it's like, well, you know where it's going, and if there's no real clues, there's nothing to look for and nothing to examine, and you don't see anything differently. It's just, we just tacked on a trick ending just to surprise people, and it wasn't genuine, it wasn't earned, it wasn't real. So very disappointing. But yeah, nice shot though. and nice acted, but just badly written, contrived, kind of like we're getting a bit of a tradition here. I realise, like that I forgot the name of the film. The guy who did Us, the race horror that turned out to have a ridiculous sci-fi ending. Same thing, basically the same thing. It sets up something great, it's going on really well, and then it's like, oh, we need to surprise the audience and have a trick ending, and just does something totally out of field that undermines it, and just, it's the same thing. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.